Hey guys, so it's Jacqueline. Welcome to the first lesson of HTML coding. Um, Basically, I'm using the programmer HTML today, and I'm going to show you all the basic stuff. This is intro to code to HTML, so we're going to go ahead and teach you guys that. So I opened up a new pen on codepen.io, and you guys can totally use it or not use it. It's um, free, so you can create a new account for free. And see this, I would just open up a new pen, and we're gonna follow the steps I'm using. If you guys have a different editor, you guys can use your different editor, but I find that this one's best for me because I am on a Chromebook and all editors aren't for Chromes. So this is kind of like an editor a mimic of an editor because you technically can't create a website with this. You can create a web page, but not a website. So this doesn't have all the things that you need to um, create a website or to do more complex stuff. But this is almost a carbon copy of a editor. If you guys don't want to use one yet, or if you guys can't access one yet. So to begin your code on HTML, you want to start off with your header. So not a header, but your formatting. It basically lets lets everybody know that you are coding. You're creating a new code. So exclamation point D doc type basically in all caps, and you want to create a space and then HTML in lower cases, and then you want to create something below. It's going to be an HTML tag, and then you want to close that HTML tag. So let's close it right here. Oop, okay. Let's close it right here. HTML. Okay. So this is basically letting the computer know that you're starting a new code. And if you guys don't create this in your code pen, that's totally fine. It will still code correctly. It's just proper practice to do this, I guess. So I always do this. And let's get started. So as you can see, this blank part, if you guys can't see it, you have to pull it up like this. So make sure you pull it up. If you guys don't, then you guys won't be able to see what you guys are coding. So I'm going to show you guys the basics. And the basics today is going to be how to create a header, how to create a paragraph, and how to break, as well as how to create a link. So let's get started. The first thing I'm going to teach you guys how to do is how to create a header. But before we create a header, I'm going to show you guys one of the most important parts of HTML, which is a tag. So I'm going to show you what a tag is. This is a tag, and I'm going to show you the format of a tag. So this is a format of a tag. This is your tag. The information, see the underlined stuff I have? The underlined stuff stands for information within the tag, and obviously you don't know any of the information within the tag yet, so I just put random underlines, but it basically stands for information. And the brackets, so these things that I'm highlighting right now, are your tags, and you have most of the time an opening tag and a closing tag, and in between that closing tag is text, and the information you have in here is basically changing your text. So that's pretty cool. And that is what a tag is. I know that you guys might be a little bit weirded out by a tag because you guys probably haven't seen it, but trust me, you guys are going to get used to it, and it's going to be super cool for you guys. So moving on. Now that you guys know what a tag is, I'm going to show you guys how to utilize those tags to create a header. So to create a header, you open up a tag, or half of a tag, and you type in header or an H. And then you could choose any number from 1 to 6. You can choose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But I'm going to choose 1. And I'm going to tell you guys why I'm choosing 1. 1 is the biggest header. So basically, it's the biggest font size that you can do for a header. And 6 is the smallest font size that you can do for a header. I prefer my headers to be big, so I'm going to go ahead and use the biggest header size, which is 1. And now I'm going to type something in, like hello. Hello is basically the text that's going to show up. Now I'm going to close my header tag, and voila. If I don't close my header tag, guess what happens? I create a new thing. Actually, I create a new thing. So I'm going to teach you how to do a paragraph. You type in a P, and then you close that tag, and then you type in something like welcome to coding. And you close your tag, right? But you didn't close the top one. So instead, your paragraph becomes part of the header because you never closed your header. So you always want to close your header because it can ruin your vision. So now this is what happens when I create my closing tag. And instead of my paragraph being part of the header, it's now its own paragraph, and it's not super huge like I didn't want it to be. Okay, so that's how you create a paragraph. You type in P, and as you can tell, it's kind of obvious some of the things you use to code. Like, it's not something that's super tricky. I mean, paragraph, P, header, H. It's not super tough, and a lot of times I'm sure you guys can kind of guess just some things. Like, I'm sure you guys know how to create a, actually no, you guys don't, a break. So a break is, I'm going to show you what a break looks like. A break is when you move some information down to the next line. As you can see, I click entered and my information went down to the next line, but in my code nothing showed up because when you click enter or stuff like that, it actually doesn't show up because clicking enter doesn't give your computer any information. It's just nothing, right? You're not telling your computer to do anything, you're just clicking enter. So if you guys actually want to break something or move something down to the next line, that's basically what break is. Moving text down to the next line, you create a different tag in where you want to move your information. So you want to create your tag before whatever you want to indent, or not indent, whatever you want to move down to the next line. So I'm going to try to move coding down to the next line. So I'm just going to create my tag before that, and I'm going to type in BR, big surprise, and I'm going to type in a slash and a closing tag. And what just happened? Welcome coding just went down to the next line. And I'm not going to do a closing tag. As you can see, most of the time you do a closing tag, but a break is one of the few times that you don't use a closing tag. Most of the time you do use a closing tag, but not this time. And that's because I kind of have like the elements of a closing tag right here. I have my dash, and I have these and these, and I also have the elements of an opening tag, which is just this and this. And yeah, you don't really ever need to, I don't know, it's just like you don't need it. If you think about it logically, you don't need to close a break. So yeah, that's it basically. Now I've taught you guys all the basics. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this lesson. It's super quick and simple, but this is very important information. I don't know if I told you guys if I would be teaching you guys anything else, but we're going to include something that's a little bit tougher, a little bit harder to memorize. I mean, H1 is pretty easy to memorize, but I'm going to show you something actually that is super cool. So, if you guys ever want to quote something, you can do a Q, your text, and then a closing tag, and a Q. And guess what? You guys saw that, right? A